I'm going to have to review BotBots one day. Hello! Another video for Kings of War. This one is about the Uncharted Empires book. So I'll just give a brief overview of it. No going in depth in the arm lists as of yet. So I'll not do what I did with the last book. I'm just going to go over each bit briefly. It does an introduction, then a story called The Unfettered, and then goes into the background of the Kingdoms of Men, which has got quite a bit of. Weird, I thought they put the background in the main rulebook. The background in here expands a fair bit from the bit in the rulebook. Then goes into the League of Rodinia, the Brotherhood, and then a nice picture. Then goes into the Varangur, then the Salamanders. It does a fair bit for the Salamanders, including different species in the Salamanders. And then it goes into the Twilight Kindred, which I'm assuming includes the Civilian Kindred, because both the Twilight Kin and the Sylvian Kin are elves. And it also has a nice piece of artwork. Then goes into the Herd. How many pages we got a Herd? Not bad. Not bad amount of pages. It's not bad. It's about 1-2 pages, which isn't much, but fine. It is. But the nice piece of artwork makes up with it. And then we've got 2 pages for the Ratkin, but no big artwork, which I suppose it shares a picture with the Brotherhood. So yeah, okay, fine. And then it goes into the arm list, starting with the 2 arm lists for the Brotherhood. The Brother Mark and Order of Green Lady. The 3 Dwarves. The Salamanders. The Sylvian Kin. The Herd. The Kingdoms of Men. Then League of Rodinia. The Ratkin. Then the Ratkin Slaves. Then the Twilight Kin. And finally the Varangur. Now the Salamanders, the Kingdoms of Men and the Ratkin are all what are called master lists. Sorry. The armies in the main rulebook are also master lists. Everything else in here is a theme list. If you've got the big rulebook or the small rulebook, you'll find what theme lists are. Basically, they take a lot of units and sometimes rules from a master list and incorporate new units into it, and sometimes make some units irregular and make some units regular. Like, for instance, the Varangur are a themed list, but they are taken from the master list is the Northern Alliance. What the main changes are is you've got some new units, and the Northern Alliance is a good alignment normally, but for the Varangur, all the units you take for the Varangur are changed to evil. You've still got a fair few units. I mean, some themed lists don't feel like they've got a fair bit. I think the smallest is the Ratkin Slaves, but they do have a lot taken from the Abyssal Dwarves, which is the master list. I've said it before, Mantic, your artists are amazing. That cannot be overstated. What also cannot be overstated is how you do photos of your forces. In this book especially, they have upped their game a lot. For instance, this photo.